Yemen. It is a country within a Cold War with its own civil war happening. Some say this is the worst ever humanitarian crisis. It started with a split country during the Cold War of Iran and Saudi Arabia. In the South split, we have the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen, this with the capital of Aden. In the Northwest split, we have the Arab Republic of Yemen. South Yemen at the time was supported by Iran. In northwestern Yemen, it's supported by Saudi Arabia. This started in 1988. Saudi Arabia was backed by the US because of its oil that they were giving to them, and Iran was backed by the USSR. These countries really did not like each other. Saudi Arabia wanted peace in the Middle East, but that's not the case for Iran. Iran wanted people to rebel, and the Saudis wanted the people to stay fine. In 1990, Yemen came back together, but this was only for a short period of time. In 1994, they split up again, which caused a small civil war, but was won by the North that reunited it again. But shortly after, rebel groups started showing up, and Al-Qaeda was there also. Al-Qaeda was very successful and pushed out into the broken up country, but other groups arose calling themselves the Houthis. In 2014, the real civil war broke out, with the Houthis being on one side and the vice president turned president Hadi, who was shortly pushed out of the country to Saudi Arabia by the Houthis. Then in 2015, President Hadi comes back with the support of the Saudi Arabia military forces and the US, bringing with him a large-scale bombardment campaign against the rebels. In retaliation, the rebels controlled the ports, letting only aid ships in, but this wasn't enough to keep the country together, as it turned into a humanitarian crisis. Then, in 2016, a cholera epidemic begins to infect around 1 million people in Yemen. It killed around 2,200 people. In 2018, the bombings got worse as ballistic missiles were fired at Saudi Arabia. In 2019, the humanitarian crisis is still getting much worse, as are the bombardments of Yemen. In 2020, it brought the coronavirus. In conclusion, Yemen is a country that has collapsed due to other countries trying to control it and putting too much pressure on it. It is truly sad what is happening there in Yemen. Looking at it with a standpoint of being an American, I think America needs to help and take out the Houthi rebels there, but that's not up to me. The independence of Yemen was attained, but at the cost of a civil war and death. Thank you. Here are my sources.